Hey guys, welcome back to another TEKDEP repair video. In today's episode, we're going to be working on this HP. This is a 14-inch Pavilion. This is going to be the X360 convertible, model 14M-BA013DX. But for almost every, especially 14-inch, but most HP convertibles, especially that are Pavilions, this repair process is going to be the same, just slight differences. But we're going to be replacing the LCD assembly, including the hinges and everything on here, on this unit here. This was sent in through our mail-in repair portal. So if you guys are looking for a repair similar to this one, we've got you covered on mail-in repair. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into today's repair. Okay, so to begin, we're going to flip the unit over here. And we're going to remove these two rubber feet at the top here. They do hide two Phillips head screws. And after removing those 2 feet, we're going to remove this plastic cover here as well, which can be a little bit harder to get out. And now we're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove these 3 screws at the top, and then there's 3 screws at the bottom here. I'll show you in a second. And then there's 3 screws, one here, here, and here at the front we're going to take out as well. There aren't screws under these feet, so there's no reason to remove them. And with those 6 screws removed, we're now going to go ahead and open the unit up. And we're going to take a plastic pry, and right where the silver meets the black, all around the edge here, we're going to go ahead and pry it apart. This will separate the top case from the bottom case. And because our hinge is broken, it's actually holding the top case on right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pry it up. There we are. So before we fully remove this, there are a few cables in here that we need to disconnect. As you can see here, we've got 2. We've got the trackpad and the keyboard. Whoops, that's the trackpad removed and the keyboard. And now our top case can come off. And this is the entire unit here. So you can see hard drive, battery, cooling fan, I/O board, power buttons up here, speakers at the top, charging port, and this is all the motherboard right here. So in order to remove the hinges on this guy here, we do have to remove the logic board first. But before we do that, of course, we have to take out the battery. So we're going to unplug our I/O board right here from the motherboard. And we're going to go back to our Phillips head screwdriver and remove the screws that secure our battery into the bottom case. And with those screws now removed, we can go ahead and lift out our battery. Forgot one right here, hidden by the cable. With the battery removed, our unit is now safe to work on as it's no longer receiving power. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect a few more connections here. So this is our power button on the right-hand side, followed by the LCD connector, or speakers at the top, our webcam microphone connector, our Wi-Fi antennas, our charging port, the hard drive connector down here, and that should be everything disconnected. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a Phillips head screwdriver, and just to get them out of the way, I'm going to remove the speakers. You don't necessarily need to do this, but it just makes the repair a little bit simpler. It is also only 3 screws, so it's not like it's something crazy difficult to remove. So we do have to unmanage the cables that clip into the side of the speaker here before we can set it aside. And now I'm going to go ahead and unscrew first the Wi-Fi card from the bottom here before I forget. This screw actually will hold the logic board in if you don't remove it. It's pretty easy to miss. Now we're going to go across the board, removing these screws holding the logic board in. We're also going to remove this screw right here that holds the CPU fan in place. The fan is going to come out with the motherboard logic board assembly here. So it looks like we have all the screws removed. So we can go ahead and fish out our motherboard here and set it aside. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the screws that hold our LCD hinges to the top case on both sides. And we can take our old LCD out and set it aside. So we've got our brand new LCD assembly right here with hinges, webcam, everything, which we're going to go ahead and lay into place now by opening the hinges all the way, making sure we don't cover any of our cables here, and laying our hinges down, and then securing them with the 2 screws that we took out at the end there. There are more screws that secure it in, but they also hold the logic board in. Make sure our charging port is aligned. It looks like the bottom case is slightly damaged down here, which is going to make it a little bit annoying to get everything aligned. Let's get that extra plastic out of here. See if we can line up our charging port correctly. All right, and again, just a Phillips head screwdriver for these 2 screws. They are marked with the arrows in case you're curious about which ones you should be screwing in right now. You want to make sure these are tight. If they're not tight all the way, your LCD could close on its own or not stay open. All right, now we can go ahead and lay our logic board, motherboard back in place, which it looks like it's actually going to be easier to come in and do the left side first, lining up all of our ports with their respective homes in the side of the bottom case, making sure we don't cover any of our cables, which of course we did, but they're flex cables, so we can pull them back out. And now we can begin screwing the logic board back into place. And if you guys are looking for any parts or tools you see in today's video, I'll have them available at our website TEKDEP.com. And if you guys are looking for any parts or tools you may see in today's video, I will have them linked in the description below or available at our website TEKDEP.com. If you guys are interested in a mail-in repair, again, similar to the one you see today, or any sort of data recovery work, we do it all every day. We'll have that linked below, or again, find out more at TEKDEP.com, but we do it all every day. We've got you covered. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a few of these flex cables. I'm just going to start with the power button on the right hand side here. I'm going to go ahead and move on to, actually I'm not going to do our LCD quite yet. I'm going to manage it first. Now I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to grab our speakers. I'm going to cable manage the wires before I put the speakers down. So I'm going to start with the bottom Wi-Fi antenna, and then the top Wi-Fi antenna, and then the webcam microphone cable. So I'm going to plug in our Wi-Fi antennas first. And with those plugged in, I'm just going to go ahead and secure the charging port as well while I'm over here. Now I'm going to plug in the speakers. And take the once again, Phillips head, as everything is in this unit. Phillips head screws that secure the speakers, and make sure I get these back down. I don't want them to rattle, so I'm going to make sure these are tight, but not super tight, or else I might strip the standoff off of the bottom case or strip the screws in general. Before I forget as well, I'm going to take that silver screw and make sure I secure the Wi-Fi card. Now we can go ahead and place our battery back down. And before we plug in our I/O board, we're going to secure the battery to the top case, because it does cover one of these screws down here once we plug the cable in. So now that screw is in place, I can now plug in our I/O board and finish securing the battery into the top or bottom case. I'm going to go ahead and, before I forget here, plug in our hard drive, so when we turn the unit on, it actually boots to the operating system. Now we can take our top case here, and don't forget to plug in these two cables, so your trackpad and your keyboard. I'm going to lay it somewhat like this here. Open up the cable receiving ends here on the logic board, on the motherboard, and plug these in. I'm going to go with the longer one first, trackpad flex cable. I'm going to go ahead and get the shorter one now, which is a bit of a pain here. And now we can lay the unit flat. And clip the top case back on. All right, there we are. So now all we have to do is turn the unit on, make sure our new LCD works. Heard the fan kick on there. Let's just make sure our LCD gives us a display here. System just restarted. Since we did take the battery out, your first boot might be pretty long here and come up with a BIOS reset, just because the battery was disconnected, which is this message here. I press enter, it will restart and push to the operating system in just a second here. And here we are, got the HP logo. Looks like we're all set. That's gonna wrap up today's video. Once we put the bottom case screws back in, but thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you saw any parts or tools you need in today's video, specifically either the LCD assembly or a battery for this unit, we'll have those available at our website, TEKDEP.com, or of course linked in the description below. If you guys are interested in a mail-in repair or any data recovery work, local or across the world, we offer mail-in repairs, so we've got you covered. Check us out at TEKDEP.com, or again, the links below. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.